Mister.
Hey everyone, Mr. MCA here. This is a lap guide for Nurburgring Nordschleife with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Final Edition. Let's get this started. Start to brake just before the pit barrier on the right ends. You want to go at half throttle just before you hit the apex and then fully accelerate once you hit it. Go at full throttle to this turn. You want to start turning around the area where the sign on the left is located. Start to brake around here. You want to hold off on accelerating until you're about to hit the apex on the second turn just ahead. Brake in between the last turn and a turn up ahead. For this turn, you want to brake for just a moment, go through the turn, accelerate just a little bit, and then brake again for just a moment. Aim your car to hit the apex and then fully accelerate. Brake just after your car enters the darker tarmac area. For this turn, you want to glide through this turn and aim your car to hit the second apex and fully accelerate. When your car dips a little, let go of the accelerator for just a moment and then gradually accelerate again. Brake for a moment just before you reach the signs up ahead. You can let the car coast for a moment before you can start to accelerate again. Start to brake before the curb is on the left end. When you go through the turn, you can start to accelerate a little bit more when you're halfway through the turn, and by the time you're done with the turn, you should already be at full throttle. Start to brake well before you reach the sign up ahead on the right side. When you hit the apex, you can start to accelerate for a bit more before you need to brake again. Start to brake around here. You'll want to be on the right side as soon as you can to get ready for the next turns. Start to brake before you reach the crosswalk. You want to go very slow through this as you want to be on the left side immediately after and then start to accelerate your way out. Brake for a moment before you reach this turn. As you approach the apex, you can start to fully accelerate. Brake around here. For this turn, you want to go a little slow as the turn does feel a little sharper, but once you hit the apex, you can start to fully accelerate. Brake when you're in line with the sign on the left. As you go through the turn, you can go at half throttle, and as soon as you start to see the track up ahead, go at full throttle. Start to brake around here. For these set of turns, you want to control your acceleration just a little bit to avoid going off track. Brake around here. You want to brake well in advance since you got some sharp turns coming up ahead. Brake just before the curb on the right ends. Go a little slow through this turn as you want to avoid going on the curb and pavement on the right, as you can get a penalty from that. Brake before the curb on the left ends. You'll be braking for a bit since you're going uphill, and once you hit the apex, start to fully accelerate. Brake before you reach the sign on the right side. For this turn, you want to go a little slow again, and once you hit the apex, start to fully accelerate. Brake for just a moment and turn almost immediately after. You want to maintain a high speed to get a better lap time. Brake just before the curb on the left starts. For this turn, you want to go at about half throttle, and once you pass the officials that are on both sides of the track, you can start to fully accelerate. Start to brake around here. For this turn, you want to maintain a constant speed and slowly start to accelerate your way out. Start to brake when your car is halfway through the curb on the right. Try to get your car to point towards the curb and accelerate through it. Brake for a moment here and start to fully accelerate when you hit the apex. For the next series of turns, you'll be tapping on the brakes to make corrections needed to get the car on the right direction. Start to heavily brake for just a moment before the curb on the left ends. This turn does get a little sharp, so you'll need to go at the right speed to make it through. Brake right about here. This turn is a little heavy, so you need to go at the right speed and adjust your car to avoid going off track. Once again, start to brake before the curb on the left ends. The apex is much later than you think, so make sure you go through this turn nice and slowly. You can also take advantage of the little pavement that's on the left of the curb, but just be careful not to take too much advantage because then you'll hit the dirt. Just like last turn, make sure you slow down and go for a late apex because this turn does get a little sharper. Brake just before jumping the hill. It is important that you do this because if you react even a little too late, you're really risking hitting the gravel. Brake before reaching the path on the right side of the track. As you go through the turn, you want to control your throttle and go to the right side of the track as you'll need to make a left turn very soon. Brake a bit more before the grade curb on the right ends. Again, control your throttle and fully accelerate when you hit the curb. Brake well in advance because for this turn you want to go on the inside, and since there's that little slope, you don't want to go too fast as you can risk jumping out and potentially losing control, as you'll see here. Brake before the curb on the left ends. When you hit the apex of the first turn, start to fully accelerate. As you go through the second turn, you can let go of the accelerator just a bit to try to control your car and make sure it doesn't go off track. After you hit the first apex, you can let go of the accelerator for a moment to adjust your car and to get ready to brake hard. Start to brake before the curb on the right ends. It is important that you do this because you can really mess this up if you brake even just a little too late. And finally, start to brake when your car is in line with the dark pavement on the left side. Start to fully accelerate once you hit the apex. That's all for this video. Hope you found it useful. This is Mr. MCA, the world's most okay player, and I'll see you in the next video.